because you're a good student, and I can show the teachers what a good student should do and how he should behave. Okay. Okay, so stress and stressful. Okay, so do you think you would like to be the president of your country despite the daily stress? Do you think you would like to be the president of your country despite the daily stress? Yes, I think I would like to be.
Yes, I think I would like to be the president of my country despite the daily stress.
Stress, yes. Okay, so afterwards, when you've completed this course, what are you going to do afterwards? When you've completed this course, what are you going to do afterwards? When I've completed this course,
when I completed this course,
not when I completed, when I've completed.
When I've completed this course, I will take a break afterwards.
Okay, good. So first of all, when you're crossing the road, what must you do first of all? When you're crossing the road, what must you do first of all? When you're crossing the road.
When you're crossing the road, first of all, you must look both ways.
Both ways, yes. Do you prefer to attend business meetings early in the morning or later in the day? Do you prefer to attend business meetings early in the morning or later in the day? I prefer to attend.
I prefer to attend business meetings early in the day.
Early in the day, yes. Okay, so what happens when you cut onions in the kitchen? What happens when you cut onions in the kitchen? When I cut onions in the kitchen.
When I cut onions in my kitchen,
it brings tears. It brings tears.
It brings tears to my eyes.
Not bring tears, it brings tears.
It brings tears to my eyes.
My eyes, yes. Okay, so okay, I'll give you an order or a statement and you make it into a request with can or could. Okay, so I want a large hamburger. I want a large hamburger.
Could I have a large hamburger, please?
Please, yes, don't forget the please. Now, I'll give you an order and you make it into a request. Okay, so I want, okay, so, with would you mind? Okay, that's the difference with this one. With would you mind? Okay. So I want a large hamburger. I want a large hamburger. Would you mind?
Would you mind giving me a large hamburger, please?
Please, very good, very polite. Do you think it's important for schools to provide discipline, or do you think children need freedom to express themselves? What a question. Do you think it's important for schools to provide discipline, or do you think children need freedom to express themselves? I think
it's important for the school to provide this discipline.
Discipline, yes. Okay, so does your house share a wall with your neighbor's house? Does your house share a wall with your neighbor's house? Yes, no?
Yes, my house shares a wall with my neighbor's house.
Which company would you like to have shares in? Which company would you like to have shares in? I would like to have shares.
I would like to have shares in Spoken English.
Well, we're not a public company, I'm afraid. Oh. So you'll have to settle for Tesla. Yeah.
Oh, the NVIDIA.
I'm envious. I'm jealous. Yes.
Envious,
okay. Yes. Okay. Need as a mobile verb. Do you need to go to work on Monday? Do you need to go to work on Monday? Yes. No.
Yes, I need to go to work on Monday.
Need you to stop at a red light. Need you to stop at a red light. Yes, I need to stop.
Yes, I need to stop at the red light. At a red light.
Okay. Yeah, if you got up early to wait for the postman, but the postman didn't arrive, did you need to get up early? If you got up early to wait for the postman to arrive, but the postman didn't arrive, did you need to get up early? No, I didn't have
to get up early.
Yes, very good. Okay, so do you know who's the head of your National Football Association? Do you know who's the head of your National Football Association? Yes or no?
Yes, I know. I know who's the head of my National Football Association.
He's a Mendocinian, isn't he?
No, it's Chiquitapia.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I thought it was Dan Villa.
No,
he's
no.
He's trying
the president
to be.
of the club. Yes, he will like to be.
Yes, he would like to be. So, do you occasionally find it difficult to concentrate on the road after you've been driving for a long time? Do you occasionally find it difficult to concentrate on the road after you've been driving for a long time? Yes, I occasionally.
Yes, I occasionally find it difficult to concentrate on the road
after I've been driving.
After I've been driving for a long time.
So, yes, okay. Is hard work or honesty the most important virtue in your opinion? Is hard work or honesty the most important virtue in your opinion? In my opinion,
In my opinion, honesty is the most important virtue.
Yes, sadly lacking in many places these days.
Yeah.
Do you think that a country's flag makes people feel loyal? Do you think a country's flag makes people feel loyal? Yes? No?
Yes.
I
Yes, I
think
think
a
that the
country's flag?
country's flags makes people feel loyal.
Yes, I think I agree with you.
Good question for the 4th of July.
Yes, well, not for me, but
No, not for you.
not for me, no.
Yes, for
That's
the
when
languages.
when the colony separated from the motherland, because it was independence from Britain, wasn't it? So it's no good. Okay. Do you think being a good companion is more important than true love in a relationship? Wow, what a question. Who wrote this?
Oh, I
Okay,
love these philosophical questions.
I wrote all of these. I don't know what I was. No, I must have been drinking too many beers at the time. Do you think being a good companion is more important than true love in a relationship? Yes or no?
No, I don't
No,
think
I don't think being a good companion.
Being a good companion is more important than true love in a relationship.
Yeah, you must have true love. Yes. When Christmas is coming, are you usually in good spirits? When Christmas is coming, are you usually in good spirits? Yes. When Christmas is coming.
When Christmas is coming, I'm usually in good spirits.
Spirits. Yes. With your daughters, it must be fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I think parents live Christmas through their children. What kinds of yeah, no, you don't agree?
Yes, totally.
Yes. What kinds of places do you find the most spiritual? What kind of places do you find to be the most spiritual? I find
churches are
yeah,
to be the most spiritual places.
Yeah, so if you're an atheist, maybe the countryside or something like that. But
no,
if you're a religious person,
I was tempted to say the mountain.
The mountain.
It's a
not the mountain, the mountain.
The mountain.
The mountain. Yeah. Okay, flow. Which river flows past the pyramids in Egypt? Question for geography. 10 points for a geography question, please. Okay. Which river flows past the pyramids in Egypt? The River Nile.
The River Nile flows past the pyramids, in Egypt.
In Egypt, yes. Okay, so what kind of behavior have you seen at feasts in films about Vikings? What kind of behavior have you seen at feasts in films about Vikings? I've seen people
throwing
food, drinking, and shouting.
At feasts.
In
films about Vikings.
Not Vikings, Vikings.
Vikings.
When do you think the human race will first dare to step on the planet Mars? When do you think the human race will first dare to step on the planet Mars? I think the human race will first dare to
step on the Mars in
to step on the planet Mars.
On the planet Mars in 50 years.
Yeah, maybe sooner. Yeah, maybe to escape artificial intelligence. Yeah. So what's another way of saying, would you dare to fly a plane? What's another way of saying, would you dare to fly a plane? Another way of saying,
would you dare to fly in a plane? Is dare you flying on a plane?
Yes. Okay, so were any of your grandparents brought up in Europe? Were any of your grandparents brought up in Europe? Yes, no.
No. No one of my grandparents broke up.
None of my grandparents.
None of my grandparents was brought up in Europe.
So were brought up because it's plural. None of my.
Were brought up in Europe. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you enjoy solving mathematical problems when you were at school? Did you enjoy solving mathematical problems when you were at school? Yes, I enjoyed.
Yes. I enjoyed solving mathematical problems when I was at school.
Not mathematical, mathematical.
Yes.
Mathematical. Do you still have a calculator at home, or do you use your mobile phone when you need to solve a mathematical problem? Do you still have a calculator at home, or do you use your mobile phone when you need to solve a mathematical problem?
I still have a calculator at home.
Yes, everybody does. Yes. Okay, so would you be happy if you hit your thumb with a hammer? Would you be happy if you hit your thumb with a hammer? No, I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be happy if I hit my thumb with a hammer.
With a hammer. Where are your fingernails? Where are your fingernails? My fingernails are?
My fingernails are
At the
end of my fingers.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Mine are very short. Yeah. You don't have long. Yeah. My wife, she doesn't have long nails. Some ladies like to have long nails, don't they? Okay. Criticize. If you think somebody is going to criticize your work, does this sometimes spoil your concentration? If you think somebody is going to criticize your work, does this sometimes spoil your concentration? No.
Yes. No,
If
yes.
I think
if I
that
think
somebody
that somebody is going to criticize my work,
it sometimes spoils
it sometimes spoils my concentration.
Yes. Are you good at telling amusing stories when you are invited to dinner parties? Are you good at telling amusing stories when you are invited to dinner parties? Yes, of course.
No, I'm not good at telling amusing stories when I'm invited to dinner parties.
To dinner parties, yes.
Even my daughters believe my amusing stories, so I'm not good at telling stories.
Oh, okay. I'm not very good either. I prefer little jokes and things like that, but I'm not good at telling stories. So if a friend's dog had recently died, would it surprise you if they suddenly fell to pieces while they were at work? If a friend's dog had recently died, would it surprise you if they suddenly fell to pieces while they were at work? No. If a friend's dog
if a friend's dog had recently died, it
wouldn't
surprise
me if they suddenly
fell into pieces
while they were at work. Yes. Okay. Name some animals one might see in a farmyard. Name some animals one might see in a farmyard. One might see
pigs, goats, horses in a farmyard.
Yes. Okay. So, did your school have a courtyard where you could sit between lessons? Did your school have a courtyard where you could sit between lessons? Yes. No.
Yes, my school had a courtyard where I could sit between lessons.
Yes. Okay. So, are you good at amuse? No, we've already asked this one in a different form. How would you recommend parents amuse their children on long road trips? How would you recommend parents amuse their children on long road trips? I'd recommend parents
playing games and playing music and I don't know you don't have too much options.
Yes. To amuse them on
the long road trips.
Yes, these days with the mobile phone, that's enough.
Oh yes.
What do you do to amuse yourself when you're waiting to have your hair cut? What do you do to amuse yourself when you're waiting to have your hair cut? I amuse myself by
talking with the hair cutter. I don't know
the
hairdresser. I amuse myself while I'm waiting to have my haircut.
Yes. Name me one of the largest and most well-known amusement parks in the world. Name me one of the largest and most well-known amusement parks in the world. Disney World is?
Yes, Disney World is one of the largest and most well-known
amusement
park in the world.
Amusement parks
in the world, and the best one.
Yes. Okay. So I've never been, but it's not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Me neither.
People say
but I have
it's very
good. Yeah. But I have to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. What's your favorite hobby, Ricardo? What's your favorite hobby apart from learning English, of course?
Yeah. My favorite hobby is I don't know.
Running marathons.
Go running. My favorite hobby.
Okay.
Is go running.
Is going running.
Is going running. Okay.
Yes. In what order do we find the words in a dictionary? In what order do we find the words in a dictionary? We find the words in a dictionary.
We find the words in a dictionary in an alphabetical order.
Yes, of course. Yes. When you pack your suitcase to go on holiday, what's the last thing that you pack? When you pack your suitcase to go on holiday, what's the last thing that you pack? When I pack my suitcase.
When I pack my suitcase to go on holiday, my mobile
toothbrush. Okay.
Oh, my toothbrush is the last thing I packed.
Yes. Okay. So shorts. Would you wear a suit and tie to spend a day on the beach? Would you wear a suit and tie to spend a day on the beach? No, I wouldn't wear.
No, I wouldn't wear a suit and tie to spend a day on the beach. I would wear a short,
pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
And a t-shirt.
No, maybe not. The t-shirt is optional, I think, probably. Yeah. So if a rose was called another name, would it still smell as sweet? This is a quote from Shakespeare. There you go.
Yeah.
So if a rose, question. Yes. If a rose was called another name, would it still smell as sweet? Yes. If a rose.
Yes. If a rose was called another name, it will still smell as sweet.
As sweet, yes. It's not quite the exact words of Shakespeare, but it's pretty close, pretty close. Yeah. So could you afford the time to study another language apart from English? Could you afford the time to study another language apart from English? Yes, no.
No, I couldn't afford the time to study another language apart from English.
English, yes. Okay, so would you ever sign an agreement without reading it first? Would you ever sign an agreement without reading it first?
Yes, I
would sign an agreement.
I will sign an agreement without reading first.
Yes. Why?
It's like
why?
Yes, for example, when you are getting your face in with your first email address, you don't read the terms and conditions.
I do. I always read everything. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. But they try to make it as long as possible so that you don't read the details. Yeah. So where are most international agreements signed? Where are most international agreements signed? Most international agreements.
Most international agreements are signed in the United Nations.
Yes, yes, in the United Nations. Where do we find a waste paper basket? Where do we find a waste paper basket? We find a waste paper basket.
We find a waste paper basket in an office.
Yes, or a study. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Wow, very good. We'll stop here for today.
Yeah.
So very good. No, you've studied very well. You're not reading these answers, are you? So this is all from memory, right?
I study, not so much as I want, but I study.
But you're not reading the answers now. You're answering from memory. So that's very good. So you got it all memorized. Excellent. How do you find the lessons that this style of lesson helpful to you? Do you feel you're progressing?
Oh yes. I think that I haven't had enough time to study as much as I want, but it's been really, really interesting to this level, especially because I started to see different expressions that I didn't imagine that even exist. So it's becoming very interesting. It's very interesting, and I think that it's like a difference between this level and the previous ones, because this one is like more advanced structures, and I like that.
Yes, yeah, it's a bit more challenging in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah. So as we go along, there's less and less grammar each time, and there's more and more colloquial expressions and more day-to-day ways of expressing ourselves. Yeah. So do you find yourself, can you understand more English when you watch films on TV or when you're in meetings and things like that?
Yes, I think that's but that has changed. From the level I know 6, but I remember that they started to understand. I think that I understand not very complex structures, obviously, because I need to study even more, but I can understand if I'm listening, or if I watching a TV, or if I'm listening a postcard. I understand the main idea and the main ideas, and I can get them, and I can reply. I think that obviously there is, but the vocabulary is large. It's always large. It has been always large. I couldn't know every word, but I can understand the structure of a question and the structure on what they are saying, why are they saying something in that way. And I like that. I like to hear something and say, "Oh, I know. For example, they are using a conditional." and I like
Yeah.
to understand that kind of things. So I think it's like it's reconfortante. I don't know how do you. I don't remember how do you say it.
It's comforting.
Comforting, yes,
Yeah.
to learn that things.
Yeah.
But
It gives
it's
you a
in that.
warm feeling.
Oh yes, it's a warm feeling. Yes,
Yeah.
because it's why we are here in some way.
Yes. Yeah. Do you use English in your work?
Yes, every day.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Every
use
day.
English. My
Okay.
yes, I
Yeah.
use English in my work every day, and I realize the difference between something that study English and someone that don't that doesn't study English, in the in the in the way we can express, and I think that I can use more focused words that
Yeah.
people don't study English, and yes, and that's a difference that I've seen, for example, in my work.
Excellent. I might ask you for a recommendation sometime because you're
Okay.
convincing me. I want to study English with spoken English now.
Yeah, now you have to study English in spoken English.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
there is.
I've got to go now, Ricardo, because I've got
Okay.
another lesson to prepare for. But
Okay.
excellent work. I'm very, very pleased by the progress that you've made. I think one thing that we've got to work on a little bit is to make the pronunciation a little clearer. Sometimes you get a bit
Okay.
excited and
Okay. Yes.
you don't pronounce as clearly as you can.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so little
Yeah.
things like the past tense endings and that kind of thing we need to practice a little bit more on. You can be perfectly well understood, but I would like you to sound much more native in your speaking.
Yes.
So
Yes. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Yes.
It's a challenge. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But
It's a challenge.
but for the what you've studied and where you've got to, I'm very, very pleased with what you've achieved. So I think
Oh, thanks. Glad to hear that.
you've done
Thanks,
a lot of
Steven.
work. So excellent.
I really appreciate your words. Thanks.
Okay. See you soon, Ricardo.
See you
Take
soon,
care.
Steven. Have a nice night.
A nice
Nice
another lesson. Yeah.
yes. And watch the football match. Don't remember to
Yes,
watch the
I'm going
football
to watch
match.
the football match. Yeah. So
Yes.
prediction? No, no predictions. No predictions.
No. Yes.
Just fingers
Well,
crossed.
yes. Yes. Goodbye, Steven. Have a
Bye
nice
bye,
day.
Ricardo.
Good
See you
night,
soon.
night. Bye.
Bye
See you
bye.
soon.